What is up guys, Patterson here. In today's FIFA 17 video we're going to be looking at the team of the season players you should buy. On screen here you can see the team of the season most consistent and it's got a lot of good players in there. We're going to start off with the bench and the goalkeeper. My opinion on this guy is if you've got a team that surrounds this kind of play style with the goalkeeper being Uruguayan and the Premier League, I would recommend buying him if you're going to use him for that purpose. Other than that, I would not recommend buying him. Next to him we have Johnson, who is a championship player and he plays for Leeds and he's Swedish, so if that's something you're into. Not for me though, to be honest. I don't think he does much for anyone really unless you like Leeds or Sweden. So next to him we have Jorgensen, who's got a very good card actually for a centre back. He's been on FIFA for a lot of years now and he's been very good on the game when I've used him, so I would recommend buying him if you're going to kind of incorporate his league and his team. Other than that, I wouldn't bother really. Next to him we'll have Glushakov from Spartak Moscow, and I would recommend him actually as a player I've liked before on FIFA, and he's got decent stats. His pace is the only thing below 80, which is decent enough. And some of his stats are good. He's got 84 dribbling, 85 defending, 83 physical, a lot of good passing and shooting stats as well. And at 87 overall for around 20 or 30k. You can't really go wrong with an 87 overall in that price range. Next to him we have a player I'm looking forward to using, and that is Vormer. I've used him before on FIFA and I really like this card to a certain extent compared to other Premier League players, but now he looks like a solid card. As you can see, we'll look through his price. Around 23k, and I would recommend just looking to try and get the cheapest deal. I did buy Sanson the other day for a review. That's on my channel if you want to look for that. And he at the time was 95k and I sold him on for 130. So that was quite good. And then we'll have Rivet. We're going to go over Pazzini because I don't think he's worth it to anyone really. But decent enough card, kind of, if you use them kind of tall players, but not for me. Next to him we have Rivet. I don't think he's worth it either just because of his league. He's around 20 or 30k as well, so not bad really. If you want to try any of these players out, feel free. I would recommend you just to experiment with the kind of cheaper players and wait for the reviews of YouTubers for the most expensive players. That's the way I kind of gauge the players for players I don't really spend the money for. For players like Vertonghen and other players like this, Bruma and Gelson Martins, which I'm going to try Gelson Martins and Danilo Pereira. I think them are very good. Let's go into the next player here, who is Marcelo, whose card looks insane for a centre back. And he's Brazilian, so there's a lot of chances to link him up through other teams. So let's have a look at this price here. 24k for someone with them stats. A lot better than players like Chris Smalling, Eric Bailly. So it's probably time for you to upgrade your kind of Premier League team soon. But I would stick to a league that you're comfortable with. I wouldn't just change for the sake of it. So this is a player I'm really excited about and I'm going to try him out in a review, is Pazdan. So I've been looking through this player for about, I don't know, a few months now. And I've always seen his stats, and the reason why I've looked at him is you can look on his card here. He has 5-star weak foot for a centre back and he's got decent stats. So, and medium to high defensive work rate, so you can't really go wrong with a player like that. The only thing that lets him down is obviously his league and his nationality, which his nationality isn't really his fault, but in game there's not many Polish players you can link him up with who are kind of quality, so that's the reason why I'm kind of wary about his card, but I'm excited at the same time. Next to him we have a Calcio player and Torreira. I've used this guy at the start of FIFA and I didn't really like him. I'm not going to be trying this guy out. I don't think there's much difference from his base card to this card. And he's 5'6" in the midfield's not going to do him much good. So we'll go into the next player here, who's someone I look forward to using last year and the year before. It is Roger from Levante. He is another kind of weird one. He is in the second Spanish league, the La Liga 1-2-3, which I wouldn't recommend building a team around him in that league. What I would do is have 2 Spanish players, linking them up nicely to make a Liga Santander or a Premier League team of players like Ander Herrera and Santi Cazorla. So as you can see, 88 pace, 86 shot, 85 dribbling, 83 physical. So this guy's going to be a monster in the midfield if you bring him back to the midfield, but I would recommend playing him as a striker. He looks like a decent card, to be honest, with his card stats, and he's kind of what lets him down a little bit is his weak foot and skill moves. His work rates are fine, his height's fine. Other than that, I can't really see any reason why you wouldn't try him for his price range around 20 or 30k. So that's a decent price range for him actually. I would pay that for him if I was going to use him. Next player is Richie from Newcastle, and as being a Newcastle fan, I was interested in trying this card out, but I don't think I'm going to try it. I'm just going to watch reviews on it and see how he does, because he's around 20 or 30k, and that's really cheap for a team of the season card. But I think this guy's going to go under 20k, to be honest, and that's where you want to buy him. So when he goes under 20k in the next few days, that's when I'll probably pick him up. So let's get in the main team. We do have Borman, who is a decent goalkeeper, probably second best from Neuer now. As you can see, stats: 90 defending, 88 handling, 65 kicking, 90 reflex, 85 positioning. For a goalkeeper, them are some good stats, to be honest, and I would recommend picking him up for around 30k if you've got a German back line. But for me, he's not really something I'm interested in. Same with this Fazio card. What really lets him down is his pace. But what I've seen in the past is pace doesn't make that much difference if you've got a solid kind of player next to him who can run fast and stuff like that. Next we have Vertonghen, the Spurs player, who is kind of an expensive one, over 200k for a centre back. As you can see by his stats, they're insane, but the Premier League kind of players are going to be a lot better than him when they come to the centre back, so I'm not going to waste my coins just yet. But if you've got the coins and you think you're going to make money on him, buy him, but not for me, to be honest. Next to him is Carvajal from Real Madrid. He's not a player I'm interested in, so I don't use that league at all. But for 180k for a 90 rated right back is decent. Especially this player in game, his stats to start with are quite good. So if you've got the kind of full Liga Santander team with the Ronaldo and stuff like that, I would buy him then, but because I don't have that, he doesn't fit into my team anyway, or anywhere possible. So next we'll start on the left mid position. We'll have Vieira, who you can tell by his price around 70-80k. In one of the announced team this season most consistent. This was a player I was interested in trying, but then I seen his defending, his physical stats, and he reminds us of kind of a Cesc Fabregas. But I don't think I'm going to try him. I may try him, but I'm not sure. His weak foot's great for a player in that position, but if you look at his work rates, they're terrible. He's more like a cam than a centre mid. So I'm not really sure about him, and he doesn't fit in me for Champions kind of meta, so he's not going to be playing for me in the centre mid position. Next one, we'll have a player that I'm really interested in, is this Danilo Pereira from Porto. He is Portuguese, and he links up with another player we're going to try in a minute, and that's Gelson Martins. So just looking at his stats there, they're insane. Some good defending stats, and some better than David Luiz, which I've got in my main team. So he might be coming out in a minute, David Luiz, and Daniel Pereira might be going in. So we'll have a look at the next person. We've tried him on the channel, so I'm not going to go for him that much. It is Sanson from Marseille, and he's around, how much is he now? 140k. So I sold him yesterday for 128, I do believe. But just profit to start with. I always knew that he was going to go up in price. I just wanted to get rid of him. So decent card. I wouldn't recommend him personally other than using him, but he's a decent card for this. He's probably the either 8th or 9th best card in this team this season, most consistent. I wouldn't recommend him personally, but you can do what you want really, isn't it? So next person we do have Karim El Mohammadi. Decent card, and I like his card, to be honest, for kind of centre mid. His defending stat lets him down in that CDM position, but he is a decent card and all fair to him, apart from his weak foot and skill moves. But what can you do? Nearly every team this season player this time has had not very good skill moves or weak foot or work rate. So let's get into the 3 best players probably in the whole team. We do have on the left hand side, we do have Bruma from Galatasaray. So straight off I can say he has perfect work rates, perfect kind of weak foot and skill moves. He has 98 pace positive, 93 dribbling positive. He has decent other stats, but they're not the best, to be honest, with the 82 shot, 84 passing, 75 physical. So you can see on his card he's very decent actually. I would recommend picking him up for around, I think he's 70 to 80k. Yeah, around 80k. So for a left midfielder at that price, what really lets him down if he was in any other team, kind of big teams. Galatasaray is a big team, but it's not a big team compared to kind of Barcelona, Real Madrid, stuff like that. So if he was in a different team, maybe Premier League, he would be over 200k, but because he's at Galatasaray, that's why his price is so cheap. Next to him is a player I would recommend buying myself, and I was going to pick him up last night, was this guy, Durizzi. So he's around 20 to 25k, and his card looks great for a striker. But what made me kind of wary is the medium work rates and his weak foot and skill moves. So as you can see on his card stats, it's quite good. It reminds us of Lacazette's card stats actually. As you can see, decent. You can't really see anything but decent card, to be honest. But next to him we have a player I'm really excited to try, and this is Gelson Martins. So as you can see by his card, it's very similar to Bruma's. 98 pace, 93 dribbling, 82 shot, 85 passing. Perfect work rates, perfect weak foot. There's a perfect card, well rounded actually. So I'm going to be trying him probably either today or tomorrow. So these two other players I'm going to be trying is this Danilo Pereira and Gelson Martins are the two players I'm most likely to try. Other than that, I would probably recommend this Pazdan if you can link them up, and this Forma and Guzkov. So I probably butchered all them names there. So that is my team this season players you should buy video. I've been Patterson. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.